Typically, the return to Daytona marks the beginning of a new season for most iRacing leagues, as they typically head there only once per season. But for the Outsider Racing League, just because we can, we're going to head there twice. This is the second time we're here this season for the Outsider Racing League 2020 A Cup Series. And looking forward to seeing this race get on just about as we're midway through the season and just shy of the chase starting. My name is Finny Nakuna. Up here in the booth with me tonight is Joshua Banks as my co-commentator. And Josh, thanks for joining me here. And looking forward to another great race at a super speedway.
Yeah, buddy, we're going to get some super speeds and good old packed racing. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Glad to be up here.
Indeed, and after a little bit of a delay, after a change in the setup to improve the stability of the drivers here tonight, a bit struggling with the cars in the middle of the corners, just making these cars a little bit more stable while in the draft to make sure we can get as much green flag action as possible here as qualifying is underway. And we already got the guys rolling out on the track trying to set a qualifying time.
It seems like...
Yep, and looking at some of the drivers we have here, Yusuf Ghali currently on the back straightaway heading off into turn 3. All these guys running the high line, setting up for the lap.
Yeah, buddy, it's gonna be starting out with that high line, getting that momentum off the corners, and then you'll see them start moving to the bottom on the second run, just because it's the shortest way around the track, and you'll have that momentum built up. So we're gonna see drivers doing that in their qualifying laps, and whoever can hold the line the straightest, even in the corners, if that makes any sense. Usually those are going to be our fastest ones up top. So we got some laps put down already. We got Josh Jenkins up at the pole right now, Yusuf Ghali second, Bell third, Jeremy Miller in fourth. So those guys already putting their first laps down. So, but fastest lap's going to probably be in the 45, 46 bracket maybe. So we'll see where they're at. Maybe a little slower than that. We'll see.
Yeah, they'll have to see here. And again, the second lap typically should be faster, but obviously that's not entirely a guarantee. You can definitely make a mistake. Well, it's kind of hard around here. You know, typically you got your foot to the floor around a track like Daytona, and really it's just a matter of really who gets the better run. This is guys going to be fighting for thousandths of a second. You see Jeremy Miller riding below the double yellow line, which is legal for qualifying and is indeed going to take provisional pole.
It gets him there. I mean, iRacing and the Outsiders, they're allowing that. So he's going to grab that pole by maybe 300ths of a second. So pretty close little fight there. Then we got Yusuf Gala running out second right now. And then we got Steve Turner. But we're watching Bell right now. I think he's done with his lap.
Yep, indeed.
So he's going to be sitting right now in P4. So good little top 5 start right now.
Yeah, how about AJ Stravato? This man has been on a roll in the last few races in this league. He's been doing a phenomenal job. And remember, last time that we were here, he won this race this season.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I remember him being up front most of that race. And now he's going to be, he's going to be a favorite here tonight, I think. So we'll see how he does tonight. Now, he's doing, I believe, his second lap, as y'all see him running that bottom line. We'll hug it going into turn 3 and 4 here. See him going about 190, almost 190 going into the corner. But you're going to be seeing those speeds when they get in the draft close to 200 tonight. So a lot of speed going on in the draft and a lot of play and shuffle when these guys get to racing here. So we'll see what lap time he's going to put here on the boards as he comes around to get the stripe. He's going to cut down the apron there on the bottom. And it looks like he's going to put himself, once it puts it on my end, it's going to be 9th position. Tied with Robert Gaba with that same lap time, but it's close lap times here, very close laps.
Yeah, indeed. With 30 seconds remaining, if you're on a lap, you got to hope that you can finish it in time. For the most part, it looks like everyone's done with qualifying of the drivers that we that elected to qualify, and we only had 11 of those. And I guess this is typically what we see at a track like Daytona. A good amount of drivers try to qualify themselves, get up towards the front. Some guys might just chill and just hang out in the back just to play it safe. And, you know, Josh, you know, you've driven here with these guys before. What do you think is kind of the better of those two philosophies? Would you rather be on the front or on the back?
Man, it's hard. It's definitely hard. You want to get up there and race with these guys and try to get to that front row, but you got guys like, I know, Bell, Alex Bell, Jesse Pierce, Jacob Plank, those 3 specifically. I know they'll 3 be working in the back. They usually do that beginning of a run of a super speedway. But personally, I've been the stupid guy. I want to run up front. Next thing I know, I'm caught up in a wreck. So probably going to see a lot of guys running in the back, taking a chill, but then you're going to see those guys wanting to race for the lead because they want to be up front and getting out of the way of the pack. But we'll see how that goes. I'm interested to see what the strategies are going to unfold.
Yeah, and strategies indeed. You can't not downplay that fact that a track like Daytona, you know, typically it's not going to be with tires or anything. If anything, it's just be with fuel and just seeing when these guys come on down. If we do get a full green flag run in, which we'll have to see. But for now, your starting lineup, we're going to have it roll across the bottom of your screen there. Michael Sturgill with a great qualifying effort is going to line up on pole. Next to him, Jeremy Miller in second.
Yeah, buddy. And then we're going into the second row here. We got good old Yusuf Ghali. Right beside him, we got the 48 of Jeff Wright.
Yeah, and then right in behind these drivers in fifth is going to be Steve Turner in the 22 machine. Next to him, Bryce Klusa going to line up in the 20 car.
And then the next row, we got old Brian Chambliss in the 9 car. And then we got Alex Bell. Watch out for this guy here. Good old super speedway guy. He's going to be rolling off in 8th position.
Absolutely, and definitely hungry for a win this season. Moving on back, AJ Stravato, again, the 33, looking to get back-to-back wins at Daytona this season. Going to be starting in 9th next to him, Robert Gaba in 10th.
Yes, sir. Then we go back to the next row. We got Joshua Jenkins in the 94. And then we got Connor Horn. Big boy, big name right there. Going to start in 12th position. Watch out for him to work his way up through the field. I feel like either that or maybe fall to the back. We'll see what he does.
And he will have to see what he does. You got Skylar Shackelford in the 88 machine. Going to line up in 13th next to him. In 14th is going to be Elliot Butler in the 6.
All right, next row, we got Casey Lakatos in the 50. And then Brandon Gagnon up in the 83 car. Starting in, I believe, 16th position.
Right in behind them, I see a familiar car. Zach Halpern in the 26, going to be starting in 17th. Next to him is going to be 83. That got a bit messed up. A cut off Brandon Gagnon. He should be lining up in 17th. Halpern should be in 18th. Bailey Turner looks like he's going to be lining up 19th, and Brandon Bowers in 20th.
All right, then we're gonna let's see Jesse Pierce. Confusing me with positions here, but Jesse Pierce is going to be next, and then then we got me, which I'm not starting. So got me, and then we got Tim Nutty Jr.
Absolutely. And then we got Angela Ronis lined up in 23rd, Clifton Cockrell in 24th, Jacob Plank lining up at 25th, Martin Sproul 26th, Caleb Weekly 27th, David Mott Jr. 28th. And that is going to round out your grid here at Daytona. A little bit messed up. Not sure exactly why that is the case.
It's because Kyle ain't here. Okay, so I can't get her numbers great.
As the field rolls across onto the back straightaway here again, 100 laps set here tonight at Daytona. Just 250 miles for these drivers, and I think it's going to be quite a long one. Again, it's a pretty long distance for these drivers. A lot can happen, and I think this race is definitely going to require a lot of patience.
It definitely will. It's a lot of laps. You get in the rhythm here. You just got to be patient, man. You don't want to make moves too early. Something could happen and take you out of the race, because any sort of damage on these cars at this track kind of puts you out of the race. So you're going to have to race it smart and smooth, and just make it to the finish. That's the biggest thing about this track, is surviving any of the big wrecks and just keeping your car and nose clean for the end of the race.
Absolutely. And if you want to check out and watch the race live, you can see there the simtvbroadcasting.com/live timing. You can follow the live timing of all your favorite drivers at our website as the pace truck's about to pull off on a pit road and we get ready to start this race. Sturgill going to lead the field on down, waiting for the green flag. There it is, green flag here at Daytona.
See everybody starting to, it looked like they were starting a single file, but that outside line still bunched up right there. Jeremy from behind, obviously from that second group. Now they're starting to double file up. Doesn't seem like many people were going to be laying back so far. It seems like they're going to be pushing it a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Again, it's going to be a mix of strategy. I think some guys just taking it easy for these few dozen or so laps, and a lot of guys trying to push themselves up into the front, up into the clear. But as they come back across the line, it looks like Jeremy Miller in the 30s is going to lead lap 1.
He got a good push, I believe, from Jeff Wright, which pushed him to the lead, and then they cut it down low. And that outside lane is losing a little bit of energy right now. We got, I believe, it's 20. See who that is. I can do my numbers right. We got the 20 up there with Bell behind him. Bryce Calusa, excuse me. We got Calusa, Bell, and then a couple other cars back behind there. So they're trying to form up a group, get that back going. We got Jesse Pierce and Bailey Turner back behind them. Maybe suck up to them, maybe get a good draft.
You have to see, and again, we're starting to see these guys spread out just a little bit here on this outside, and again, riding on board with Bailey Turner in the 24 machine. It started in 18th, already making some massive gains up into 13th place. See him trying to pull in behind the 33 of AJ Stravato.
Yeah, it's one thing about Daytona you can do. You can gain spots very quickly from the draft, so you just got to place your car right and get through traffic pretty good. But you can make time in at least a lap or two. You know, you can start way in the back where Bailey's at right now and scourge through the field like crazy if you do it right. So, but everybody obviously taking a chill. Further back, everybody's, you know, not really pushing up or anything and waiting to see how things goes, running some laps. All you got to do is really get some laps logged in, and that's what they're doing right now. Not really pushing a whole lot, you know, not really getting aggressive. So just running it out and see what we can get from here. And then also seeing who your buddies are going to be. That's the biggest thing. Once you find your buddies, you know who's going to work with you. That's where you're learning right now too. Yeah,
absolutely. There are a few different teams and organizations here at Outsiders Racing, so, you know, I imagine some of these guys are going to spend a good amount of this first series of laps trying to find, as you're saying, find your buddies, find your teammates, and they don't necessarily have to be teammates. You have other friends that are willing to work with you. Those help out quite a bit, especially with this package the way it is. It's very easy, you know, if you can find someone to work with, it can definitely help you get to the front, but it's not impossible to get up there by yourself.
It's not impossible. I mean, it can be done if you get the right draft, get the moment, you know, if you time your drafts right, but it would be extremely hard to do. Let's see what these boys do, but everybody just seems to be taking it chill right now, figuring out where they're going, how the car's going to drive, and just learning things, man.
Yeah, and again, that's another thing, too, is that these drivers had the setup change, and they're running a setup that was a little bit more unstable after a few laps into the run. and that caused it was causing some incidents, and there was a bit of concern with that. So the server was changed last second to use the iRacing default setup to give these guys a little bit more stability and just keep them more in check. And it also seems like, again, that's kind of leading to these guys just taking it easy, seeing how the car is reacting through some of these corners.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we want to see some good racing. We don't want to be wrecking it every time. So just taking a precautionary route, possibly. So, and now with these new setup, everybody knows the default though. You know, it's not too unpredictable, but we still want to race it out, make sure we keep everybody clean. You know, don't want to screw anybody up. So, but I mean, everybody right now is just taking it chill. Nobody's gaining anything. The outside lane may be falling back a little bit, but everybody's just staying put. Nobody's really pushing anything right now. So.
Yeah, and are we surprised that we haven't seen that outside lane be a little bit stronger here as you see the guys work down the back straightaway? Because we've seen it in the past, and you can see Calusa's starting to build up a run there.
It did a little bit. Bell's not really pushing hard, and Gabba's not really pushing that hard, so it's not really forming, but it's able to maintain, and that's what's keeping them right there.
And again, this is what we're talking about, you know, just taking it easy at the moment. Just drivers following in line with one another. We haven't seen any 3 wide so far. And these guys are playing around with that quite a bit in practice from what I was looking at earlier. But again, no one trying to be too aggressive now. As you take a look a little bit back in the pack, just trying to see where everyone else is situated out, have we've lost anybody. I already see Elliott Butler. He's made a stop down to pit road. Not entirely sure why.
I don't know either. It says he manually disconnected and then connected back in, so I don't know what the deal was with that. That was a little confusing on my end, so I don't know what his deal.
Yeah, this has done a really poor job of helping him out. This race was set to start in 14th, all the way back in 27th, 3 laps down. So he's not particularly having a good day at the moment. It's going to take a while for him to get those spots back, or even just get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough hill to climb because you're going to be by yourself. You're going to have to get back in the draft, and you're probably going to go another lap down to make that 4 when this pack catches him. So he's got a long way to go, get back up. But if we get later on and we start having some wrecks, you know it's going to happen with less than 50 to go, at least. So we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, and currently riding on board with Brandon Gang, who's currently the last car of the main pack. We haven't really lost anyone from this pack other than Elliott Butler. So that you can see all the other 25 cars ahead of Gang that he's going to have to work through if he wants to have a shot at winning this race. And again, he's just kind of tailing on the back. And this is a big thing, too. Again, we talk about the backage time and time again. But at this point in time, you know, the distance that he's back from Sproul, you would almost lose people on the older package. So he can really just kind of sit in a ride. And I think that's what, again, a lot of these drivers are doing at the moment. As we look back up, I see Jeff Wright, I think, might have made a move for position. Now it looks like he fell back in line.
Yeah, I don't think he moved. But that outside line got a lot of energy right there. They're side by side right now. Jeremy Miller going into 3 here. Calusa looks like he's got the nose on him, but obviously that back line or the outside line had to back off a little bit, make sure he don't spin nobody. But they're looking like they got a little bit of energy building up. We got Bell, Gabba, Shackelford, Jesse, Plank, and I think Cliff and Cockrell all lined up right there. You know, if they get a little tighter up, they can get a good run here and possibly get around Jeremy Miller here.
You have to see, no one has gotten past Miller so far. If I'm not mistaken, has led every single lap of the race. EDI has led 9 of the 9 laps we have completed so far.
He's just holding his line, you know. That's what he does. So Jeremy's won here before Daytona, and likely to do it again if he just, you know, races smart. You know, he's one of the favorites here at the Super Speedway. Him along with Bell, which he's obviously running 5th right now, so watch out for him. Stravato's not running the front like he did last race here, but I think just where he was at the time of the race. But he may be able to work his up. But you can see right now that outside got a little bit of a run. They had some squabbles up there on the bottom lane. Outside lane was able to get a little bit of a run, but it seems like they collected themselves and now back to where they were.
Oh, just saw Elliott Butler rip past the camera there. You can see the field working on by him. We're going to get 3 wide for a second. Everyone giving each other room to get past Butler, who will now go 4 laps down. But at least for Butler, he's finally caught up with the pack. Won't lose any more, hopefully.
Yeah, all he needs to do now is just get back in line and just stick with these guys as best he can, avoid the wrecks, and I just hope that there are cautions or something to get him back, because he's going to need it. That's all he's praying for right now, really.
Ooh, if you guys getting a little bit dicey below the double yellow line, which you absolutely don't want to get, not only because that's illegal territory down there, but also can get the car really squirrely if you're not careful and abuse it too much.
Yeah, you don't want to touch that too much, especially in the corners, because it'll upset that car in a heartbeat. But that's the thing about this race. Even though I know it looks like we're just going around in circles, flat-footing it and all that, but it's integrity, man. You got to be able to keep that car straight and the patience behind it as well. I mean, yeah, you can turn left and make this look super simple, but one little screw-up can ruin the race. So you got to make sure you got to do this lap after lap after lap, and that's where things start really kicking in about 10, 20, 30 laps in. So right now we're already 12, 13 laps in. So we still got a ways to go, but we already got some laps in. So people are starting to possibly, get a little anxious, wanting to get up to the front maybe. So we've seen some guys wanting to look like they want to do moves, like Bell's stepped out a little bit there. Don't know if he just maybe wanted to get some air. That's another thing too we hadn't discussed. The more I think about it, more I talk. Heating, when these guys get to pushing, we got heating issues. If people getting hot, needing to back off and cool off and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be definitely a factor. You obviously can't say too terribly close to the driver ahead of you, as you're right on board with Jeff Wright sitting in behind our race leader. And again, you're going to have to give a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing. You can see there keeping a little bit of distance between himself and the 30. Even off the back of Jeff Wright, you can see Sturgill, who had a great qualifying effort starting up on pole. It's dropped back to 5th, but again, just all giving each other some good breathing room to work with. And that's probably going to get a lot closer between these drivers when the laps start to wind down. I think at that point, you're not going to be thinking about your engine overheating.
No, you're going to be wanting to push. But in this situation right now, the guy who is, how do I say this, is not the most comfortable is Jeff Wright and Michael Sturgill. If I can say that right. Sorry about that, bud. But the only reason I say that is because when they get to pushing, they can't move up to get air. They're kind of stuck where they're at. The only way they're going to get air is if either one, they fall back a little bit, or two, they get such a good run to clear themselves on the high side. So those two guys and a couple of like Yusuf, they're kind of in a stuck position right now because they can't really back off much when they get to pushing and getting overheating. But it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. So, but that outside lane, they can move up, get some air, get back in line. But that bottom is it's tough.
Yeah, and honestly, which lane would you rather be as a driver at this point? These guys kind of just riding, but would you rather be in the top lane or the bottom lane?
Obviously, if I was one of these drivers, I'd want to be on the top lane, because I feel comfortable on the top lane. The bottom lane, to me, it feels treacherous down there because you can't back off much. You can't push as much because if you do, you're going to overheat, and then you're going to want to back off, but you can't because you got the other guys who want to go. And it's tough, but on that outside, you can, if you need to bail out for whatever reason, you can just go to that high side if it's only too wide, and just get on back. But for me, I love that outside. It's just my personal opinion, and I'd rather be up there. And it seems you get better runs up there. But right now, it's
Speaking of a run, how about this down the back straightaway? It's not going to be enough to take the lead, but definitely a great run off the corner of turn 2.
Yeah, watch out for Bell. I believe, one of the best pushers we have in this league. If he gets a good run, he's going to push you down that straightaway. So look out for him. If you want to run, I'd rely on him because he will push you up front when he wants to, that is. And he's just got to have help behind as well. But watch out for him. He's going to do something here. Maybe get a good run with Calusa here. Maybe going into one here. Maybe going down the back straightaway. We'll see. Yeah,
it seems that they're trying to take it down in turn 3, but they lose. You can see they lose quite a bit of time down through turns 1 and 2, and then here on the back straight, you're going to see them get hooked up on that outside lane. Now going to start to move themselves forward as they try to muscle on past. Not as great of a run last time by, but still a decent run, enough of a run to keep them up there in the fight.
Yeah, buddy, but you see Jesse Pierce and Shackelford right there lagging back a little bit. That's going to lose a little bit of energy, but maybe they can get that momentum on the high side, push up to this front 3 here. But everybody's doing good so far. Working on 18 laps now. Everybody seems to be pretty chill. Nothing's going too crazy. Still got a long way to go.
Yeah, we haven't really seen, I think, anyone in the first 5 or 6 rows even change lanes. I think these guys have just been kind of running very orderly, more orderly than I would have thought. As I say that, I see Clifton Cockrell, I think, in the background. He got a little bit out of line. And it looks like he's trying to maybe work something on the top lane, but nothing there at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go 3 wide anytime soon. It's too soon for that, but expected at least with 20 to go if we are still green at that point. But here we go.
Oh.
Jeff Wright looking to the outside. He may get shuffled back here. Calusa's going to check up. Going to let Wright go in. And it looks like Jeff Wright's going to try to get the run and take the lead here.
Yeah, muscled his way past Miller to get to the top side. A little bit of check up on that lane as well. It looks like Wright's going to hold steady ahead of Calusa.
Yeah, buddy. It looks like he wants to get up front a little bit and lead some laps, but Calusa kind of checked up there to get him room. But I think if we're looking at this right, yeah, he's getting a good push right now. So Jeff Wright's going to be pulls down, which he does. It's kind of close, but he gets him clear and gains the lead on that.
Yeah, I'm curious if he is going to stay down here or if he's going to try to manage these two lanes. As I say that, Miller now jumps to the top side.
Yeah, he's going to look to the high side. He's like, nope, I want my lead back. So, Calusa, come on, give me a push.
Now, let's see if he's actually going to be able to clear it. Not quite. Miller, right back on the inside with a great run through turns 1 and 2. And Sturgill not going to put himself to the inside of Miller. But now we're starting to get racy here.
Yeah, everybody's getting a little anxious now. So we'll see what people do, because when they start getting antsy up here, some people are like, nope, I want to go to the back. So you might see that going on. We'll see. But these two top guys, Jeremy Miller and Jeff Wright, are fighting for this lead, wanting to get it.
Absolutely, and they're right in behind them. Yusuf Ghali in the 54 machine, sitting in behind. For Yusuf Starry, currently running in 4th. He started in 3rd, so really not a whole lot of movement for him.
Yeah, most of these guys, top 5, haven't really moved much positions. Like, you don't see much of the guys at the back getting up to the front. Everybody's just stayed still so far. Maybe a couple positions swapped here and there, but nothing much there. But man, he's racing a little dicey up here for these top 2 spots. But other than that, everybody's still pretty chill.
Interesting if what Yusuf Ghali does, because it's been a while since he won a race. Last win he had this season was all the way back in March at Texas, where and at that point he won 3 of the first 6 races of the season, has not won since in the next, I think, 10 rounds. So he's been hungry for a win, as we were talking about too, with drivers like Alex Bell looking for another win this season. And again, this is probably the best place, or I would say technically the easiest place to get it.
But it's hard because you got to make it. It's one of those deals. It's a double-edged sword. It's super easy to win because you're not doing anything other than holding your foot down and hoping it sticks. But at the same time, you got to avoid them wrecks. And oh my goodness, they're getting loosed up there in the front. Sturgill making a move on the high side.
How about that? We're going to keep an eye on this for a moment and try to take a replay of that, but that could get really dicey here as Miller looked like he tried to have a move up the inside of Sturgill, but Sturgill to the lead on the outside lane.
Yeah, Sturgill's like, all right, I want to get a part of this fight. Let me get up front. So he's going to lead a lap here.
Well, he gets turned off the nose of Jeremy Miller, and it's the big one down the front straightaway. Caution going to be out, and it's a massive wreck.
Woo, man, AJ Stravato spinning. Oh, my goodness, man. I did not like the way that looked. Jeremy was tucked all back behind Sturgill there. That's what got him to turn.
Yeah, we're going to take a replay a little bit earlier. I wanted to see what happened on the back straight, because that kind of seemed where this whole incident seemed to start. The field coming up, and there you see Sturgill with a move to the top lane, cut the 30 of Jeremy Miller off, and you see a aggressive move, bump from the 30 to the 90.
Yeah, he got aggressive there. Sturgill wanted to clear himself, and he did. Jeremy gave him the room, but Jeremy was like a little heated probably after that and stuck to his bumper that entire corner down the straightaway. And I feel like he had a little bit of retaliation, but I don't know if it's a good time to do that right now.
You see, there's the tap. Gonna send him around into right, and absolute chaos playing out across the front straightaway. You see Bailey Turner, a whole bunch of cars spun around. I'm interested in seeing who actually got damaged.
Steve Turner got a little bit of left rear damage I'm looking at, and the right front or left front. So looking at cars here, Bryce Calusa really got some damage on this one. Back end's all tore up, right front's a little beat up, but made it through. Shackelford, Bell got some damage on the rear end. Oh boy, front end looks good though.
This off the nose of Bailey turn. You can see there he he thought a lot about where to go. Unfortunately, I think clipped the 33 of Stravato, and he went for a little bit of a slide.
Yeah, just a little bit too aggressive racing at there early in. I mean, yeah, I get the foot back off in trial. We can't really push anybody into trial or any in the corners because it just upsets these cars so much. So everybody coming in for pits, though, I feel like it's going to be tires and fuel.
Yeah, pretty much so. I mean, these guys looking to take, looking at about 30 laps on a tank with the fuel that these guys are limited to. So pretty much right on time to come down on the pit road, and as you're saying, get 4 fresh tires and fuel for these cars. Oh, Miller slid through his box. Yep.
Wow. Well, it's going to lose some time there, but I'm anxious to see who stays in and get damage fixed, because if you got maybe 30 seconds, it'd be worth it to get that all fixed, even though you may be a little bit of a back behind in the pack, but I'd rather have damage fixed than being up front with a more damaged car. So,
ooh, and a lot of guys just sitting in their box here, as it looks like David Mott gonna come out and take the lead ahead of Connor Horn. Look at everyone sitting down on pit road. I've never seen anything like that.
I ain't either. I think they're all getting damage fixed or either waiting to be in the back.
Yeah, that could be it too, because I'm actually surprised, because Jeremy really shouldn't have any damage.
No, I think he's like, I'm done. I'm not wrecking anymore. I want to go to the back.
And he came out in 11. There you see Jeff Wright leave now. I'm just curious to see who else is going to leave. There's Sturgill, Chambliss now rolling off.
Yeah, I think the strategy now is let's just chill out. We're going to the back if we can and ride this sucker out. Now, here's where I predicted this in the beginning of the race. If you look back here at Alex Bell, we got him, Jesse Pierce, and Jacob Plank all coming out in a group right now. I'm predicting that at this point they're going to drop to the back, ride this out, and see what they can do here, because they are all bunched up next to each other right now. So I'm predicting that, and then of course probably have other teammates as well bunching up to either go to the back or just stick together, in this run, not really race so hard.
Yeah, and all part of JB Racing. Was that newly renamed, or?
Well, that's my team-ish. Not really a team. It's just something I made to put myself in there when I race.
I'm just saying, because I don't remember that channel being named that. That used to be the... oh, no, it is a different channel. I thought it was the SWE channel renamed.
No, that's still a thing, SWA, but the JB Racing was just something I put together so I can race, and Plank and I and Jesse could race together, and Bell's probably just hanging down in there because we're all good buddies. So just chill it out. But they're probably going to work together in this one and see what they can do to make it to the finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, that could also be why we were seeing everyone just deciding to wait down on pit road. That was still a bizarre sight to see. But now the caution is a very good chance to get with the people you want to work with and guys you want to be around. It also gives you a chance to try to position yourself in what part of the field you would like. And looking up here, interesting thing. Clifton Cockrell did not come down pit road. He's not pit this race so far. I'm really perplexed by that.
That is a confusing, interesting call.
I can't really make sense out of that, honestly. I don't know. Can you?
No, I can't either. I'd rather be on sync with the pack. But
and that's another great thing you bring up too, is when you pit, you have to make sure you have at least one other person, because if you don't have any sort of draft, you're going to lose the field in a heartbeat. And so Cockrell faced with that dilemma here. Everyone else has come down to pit road, but it will be him that leads the field back to green. David Mott on his outside completing that front row.
Yeah, it's possible he might want to stay out so that way he can be up front and avoid any wrecks, possibly. So we'll see.
You'll have to see here as the pace truck pulls on a pit road, and we get ready to go. Green back here at Daytona.
Seeing that bottom line didn't seem to get a good jump. We got Connor Horn and Cockrell working together here, but Lakatos didn't stick up very well. And then you got the 94 back here, way back there a little bit. So you got these three on the bottom. You got Caleb coming down to the bottom. So put 4 cars to the bottom. Got David and Angelo Horonis down there. But then now those Jeff Wright and the 94 of I don't remember his name. Gummit. Josh Jenkins.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. If I can remember stuff. But we got Josh Jenkins back there working with Jeff Wright, pushing up a little bit. But here we go. I think we're going to start seeing some single file here now, boy. I really do think so.
You think they got out of their system? 'Cause
I
I don't think they did. They were
doubt
really
it.
calm. They were really calm during that first run up until the end of it. Was when some of you guys started getting racy. I think they still got some stuff to sort out. But have a look at our top three at the moment. Clifton Cockrell, Connor Horn, not too surprised to see him there. Casey Lakatos, Caleb Weekly, David Mott Jr., top five. And none of these guys were anywhere close near the front. In the entire top five, nowhere close to the front until we had those pit stops. So a big shakeup in the order.
It completely shaked up. I mean, you got people wrecking, and then you got the cleaner cars up front. So different set of drivers here up front racing it out. Still got Jeff Wright up here and Sturgill, who have remained clean and were able to maintain with this pack. But it seems like a lot of other people just chilling out and staying in the back, racing the sucker out. We'll see.
You have to see, and also too notably, as we try to actually, I'm going to stay on this just a little bit longer, is David Mott is going to have a pretty good run. Funny thing is that we were saying that David might have been joining us if he didn't really like the way the car was racing, but it looks like he's having a blast at the moment right here in the top five, currently running in fourth. Look at the side draft he's got going down the back straightaway.
Yeah, man, and iRacing just put an update that side draft does work a little better than what it used to, so it might be a tool that these drivers could use later in the run. Be interesting to see if it actually does come into play. We haven't seen it much yet, but later in the race, I expect them to do a little hard side drafting. So.
Yeah, I want to take a moment to just look a little bit further back in the pack, because you can see there's a bit of separation, and I think it's Tim Downey Jr. leading this pack of drivers, 17th on back. It looks like they've gotten themselves organized to try to catch back up, but they didn't get a good restart back here. Or do you think this is by design?
It's possible by design. Just getting out of the way, single file, and just turning some laps and letting these boys up front race. Now, you see Caleb Weekly going to the bottom here.
Yeah, we saw
probably.
Yeah, we saw Brandon Gagnon pull the same move earlier in the race. He's just trying to drop to the back. He's got to hurry because the corner's there. He gets back onto the racing surface a little bit more awkwardly than he would have liked.
Yeah, it's an apron there, bud. You can't do that very good, but it's able to hold it, get back in line.
Whoa! I just saw Clifton Cockrell. Oh, he just came onto pit road.
I don't know what just happened there.
Yeah, I'm curious. It almost looked like he got punted out of the way.
Cockrell is in the pits. He's going into his pit stall, so I think this is that pit stop we were talking about. Yeah, he just came in. He came down.
He just came down. It almost looked like he got turned off the nose of Connor Horn. But yeah, this is what we're talking about. I still don't understand what he was trying to accomplish here, but he's going to be at a pretty big deficit because he's going to be a lap down here as the field's rocketing down the back straightaway. And here we go, a drag race between Angel Ronis and David Mott Jr. on the inside.
Anytime you're going to hear David up in the lead, leading laps, let it go, my boy. Leading to Daytona. Got Connor Horn pushing in behind. He might go, Angelo might beat him to the line, though. It's close.
Yep, and Angelo is going to beat him to the line. So for David Mott, he actually did lead a lap a little bit earlier in the run. So,
well, okay. Well, you got some laps led. That's cool. It looks like Aronis and Bowers are working good together right now, trying to get themselves clear of this bottom side so they can move to the bottom. You got Sturgill and Jeff Wright working their way back up to the front. We got David. David, what are you doing, man? Don't drop to the back. You were doing so good.
Yeah, and for David, he's going to drop all the way to the back. You can see the position's ticking up. He's going to drop from the lead, pretty much.
Oh, no! Don't spin, David. Oh, man, oh my.
Yeah, that was, I think, a lot wilder of a ride than he would have liked. But got a lap led, and he's actually, I don't think he might be able to pick up this pack rocketing past him. He's going to be too slow off the pace after he had a clip with the apron, but back to 23rd. He might lose the pack here.
Oh, man, it's possible, man. I think he's just going to ride it out. He usually does. He likes to ride things out and see how things turn, and then he'll start doing his thing. So back up to the front, though, we got Angelo Horonis up in the lead. We got Bowers pushing him, and then Connor Horn behind him. And then we got Sturgill and Jeff Wright. Now, look at these two. These two are two cars. You got 5 on the bottom, yet these two right here, if they stay tucked up and Jeff Wright doesn't blow his engine, I can see these guys working to the front. They do a little side drafting. They might be able to work their way up.
Yeah, it looks like these guys have been pretty friendly with each other. We saw them early in the race were running near each other at the front. And here they are yet again. So I guess Wright's picked Sturgill as his buddy. Or maybe it's just a coincidence, but these two guys working really well in that outside lane. And that's what I love about this newer package with the bigger wings in the back. It lets these guys be able to make a lot better moves. As you see, speaking of a move, Rona's going to pull up onto the high lane to defend.
Yeah, he saw that run coming from him, and he was like, "Nope, y'all ain't getting it. I'm going to pull a Dale Jr. Get out of my way."
Up, but he left the inside open. Here comes Brandon Bowers up the inside. He's got Connor Horn right in behind. And we'll see as these guys come out of turn 4, who's going to lead this lap.
It's going to be close. I think Bowers is going to get him. But that outside lane, though, I think Hronis is going to get it by a skosh.
Whoa!
Oh, they got a little tight right there out of tri-oval. Holy cow. That's going to check up that bottom side. Hronis is going to get a good run. I don't know. I thought it was going to be better than that, but he's going to get the nose out in front right now. Sturgill tucked in behind.
And you see, whoop, as looks like Gagnon's pulled on down to the apron. He's going to pull back. We saw him do a similar thing earlier in the race. He's had enough fun up near the front, but for Hronis and Sturgill still drag racing off into turn 3. Interested in seeing if Bowers, if he can get clear Sturgill, would he pull to the top lane?
Yeah, he's falling back a little bit. Jeff Wright's going to be tucked right there. We got Chambliss, though, getting a little run. We got Clifton Cockrell. He's a lap down, but he's going to stick with these boys and see what they can do. And maybe get his lap back if a caution were to come out. I mean, I would personally fall further back, though, just because, don't know what's going to happen. But, hey, it's his point. He might want to see if he can race his way to get his lap back. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's definitely within the realm of possibility. We've seen it done in the past on SimTV to try it. But I think the big key thing is just to remain at the very least the first car lap down. Problem is he's near the front, and in the past, not particularly in this race, the wrecks may typically tend to happen more towards the front, so he's got to be just a little bit careful where he's positioning himself.
Yeah. And that's going to be important. But I was looking back here in the back, and this is what I predicted. Now, granted, they ain't far back in the back, but you got Plank, Bell, and Jesse all bunched up, just watching these boys race it out, man. They're going all together, just chilling out. I can see it right now, them discussing everything. All right, what are they doing, and where to go, and when to push, and all that fun stuff. So yeah, and it's cool to see all them working it out. Yeah,
and on screen you see there the 38 of Jacob Plank, the 40 of Jesse Pearson, the 15 of Alex Bell, all working together as a unit for JV Racing, trying to get themselves to the front slowly but surely. I think this is, again, a waiting game. Also notable drivers back here are looking at Yusuf Ghali in the 54, hanging out back in 15. Jeremy Miller currently running all the way back in 17th. Tim Downey Jr., 18th. Zach Halpern, 19th. Even Mott.
I'll tell you what, though, we get back into the front. They get a little dicey up here. There's been changing hands. We got Bowers up in the lead now. Jeff Wright switched it up and got to Hronis and left Sturgill out to dry. We got Butler, who's multiple laps down. He's up here in the mix, and we got Connor Horn coming back into the mix.
I'm going to see how Connor Horn's going to take the lead. He might not care. I think for him, this is just a matter of getting to the finish. Running really well in the points. In fact, leading the points 44 points over Yusuf Ghali. So I think for him, it's just a matter of getting to the finish line. If anything, trying to win this race. But for now, it's just a matter of ticking off the laps as we're over a third of the way through this race.
Hey, he's just waiting. I can see it right now. He's just waiting. He knows what he needs to do. He's just being patient. Try not to do anything crazy and stupid. So that's going to be key. And we've talked about it multiple times already tonight. It's just being smart and patient. And he's showing it right now.
Riding on board, Skylar Shackelford hasn't made a whole lot of noise in the 88 machine. Got Wrangler on the hood. A nice throwback livery for him. But he's just currently been running quietly inside the top 10. You can see he's got the 22 Steve Turnus to his inside, a few other drivers up top. But really, throughout this field, who is really the driver that you're going to be looking at, Josh, as a good chance of winning this race at the moment?
Oh, man, it's tough. It's so tough at Daytona.
And you can't pick your own team.
Dang. Other than the team, I don't know, man. Stearns was looking strong. He was able to work his way back up to the front. And Jeff Wright, both of those guys were, almost involved in a wreck. Went in the pit, started in mid-pack, worked their way up. So watch out for those two guys. But these two up front, Hronis and Bowers, they're running good. It's just hard to say right now, man. I mean, I'll be more interested to see if those guys who ran up front earlier are able to work their way back up to the front. Those are going to be the guys I will look out for as a whole.
Yeah, absolutely. As you look at Elliott Butler, currently in 26, we were talking about him earlier, fell 3, then 4 laps down. He's still running 4 laps down, looking to potentially get that back if a wreck does happen. But this has got to be a miserable race for Butler now, knowing that he really can't do a whole lot about his current situation.
Yeah, man. But in a way, you got to look at it in the positive. You just keep running laps, keep your lap down where it's, you don't get any worse. If there are wrecks early in this race and it takes out drivers, that's free spots for you. So that's the only way you can look at it right now in the positive. So that's where he's looking at right now, just hoping that, no, he don't want bad to happen, but he wants positions to gain. So he wants people to get taken out. That's bad as it sounds. So he's just going to run it out, see if he can gain any spots from any guys from mistakes. So that's all he's doing.
Whoa, I see the 94 Joshua Jenkins get a little bit of the apron, got a little bit loose. He's going to save and keep it going back straight. I was going to say, too, that it looks like the outside lane was starting to die off for a little bit. It looks like they're back on the offensive.
You know what's funny about this outside line? 3 of those 5 guys on that outside are lap downers. You got the 88 and the 90 are on the lead lap, but the rest of them are lap downers. So I find that kind of funny. That Sturgill's getting help from lap downers, but hey, I mean, whatever you can get to get up to the front, take it. So, I mean, Sturgill's like, come on, boys, get me up. Come on.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough, especially through the corners there. You can see these guys back off just to make sure no funny business occurs. And it's really interesting. I am surprised that Sturgill is running back up here. It's interesting just the fact that he's up here. Meanwhile, Jeremy Miller, who was the driver that got into him, is all the way back in 17th.
Yeah, I think Jeremy learned his lesson. He's like, nope. Whoops, that's my mic. But I think he learned his lesson. I was like, I need to chill out a little bit, and just race this thing out, be a little bit smarter than that. But we all make mistakes, so ain't nobody perfect. But here we go. Oh, man, Butler's looking on the outside. I don't know what he's doing there, but it looks like Sproul's going to look to the inside now. Butler maybe just dropping back, and that's going to lose a lot of momentum for Sturgill. Probably going to drop down at this hole if he can grab it real quick before Chambliss gets it.
Yeah, not sure why Butler is up there. I guess wanted to get out of the way.
Sproul.
Yep, he got very loose through the trial there. They got really hairy. But here we go. Looks like these guys starting to race just a little bit more aggressively. Sproul going to pull up high. Got to be very careful with the way you maneuver through the turns.
Yeah, I mean, with him being, I think he is a lap down, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, he is 1 lap down, 24th position. So he's going to have to really watch it because he will not be liked very much if he spins and wrecks out lead lap cars.
Yeah, so I'm sure Sturgill won't like being turned around a second time in front of the field.
No, he won't. No, he won't. He'd be like, what's wrong? I didn't do nothing.
Yeah, we say sometimes you're the bat and sometimes you're the ball. And Sturgill, again, if things don't go his way, he might be the ball for a second time here. And we can't stress enough, too, he got very fortunate that he didn't get completely wrecked out. Only got some minor damage to the rear of that machine, and he was good.
Yeah, his car looks pretty straight. It's a little cranking on that left side, but it's still straight enough to where his aerodynamics aren't killing him too bad. But it might help him because it looked like that left rear wing, left side of that wing is knocked down a little bit. So maybe it'll knock the better airflow, less downforce, but get more speed down the straightaway. So we'll see.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely see what you're talking about there. I wish I had the tool that Cal had to draw on the screen. I don't have that with me at the moment. You can see there on Sturgill there, the left side of the wing dripping down just a little bit. And, that could be helping him or it could be hurting him. We'll have to see, but it definitely shouldn't be hurting him too much here. If anything, might be stability-wise. But still, Rona's up here in the lead. He's been here for quite a while. In fact, he's led 13 laps so far.
He's holding it still. Bowers ain't really making any aggressive move, but Angelo's going to look up top. Going to probably either block Sturgill here or probably something to help Bowers in the heating, but interesting move here by Horonis moving up to the top side.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he's trying to help out Bowers. If anything, Bowers would be on his own. He's got the 48 of Jeff right in behind them, those drivers' teammates. Now trying to make things work on the inside lane.
Yeah, it looks like Connor Horner looked to that high side too. He's got the only lap car right there. Those first 5 on the outside is Sprout. And as I say, that Horonis goes to the inside. So
see the 31 of Bowers
blocking off the high lanes run.
See Bowers get really close to the back of the 11 machine. And there you see the bump. Woo, gets him a little bit squirrely. You got to be very careful here. They're a bit offset as they head off into turn 3.
Back off a little bit. They don't want to be bumping bumpers going in the corner.
Yeah, we always say, me and Kyle affectionately like to joke. I think it was Matt Malone that said this. Don't push the pusher. I think is
Yeah, exactly. Don't want to do that here at Daytona or Talladega. That's probably the last thing you want to do. It's hard not to do it because you want to keep pushing and keep that momentum up, but you got to be smart about it. You got to back off and make sure you can get through the corner at least.
Ooh, Sprout getting way out of line, almost into the wall. I think he's still trying to let drivers on by. Just got Shackelford to get to the inside, Cockrell and Elliott Butler as well. As you can see, some of the lap cars in the middle of this group just trying to get themselves organized. And actually, speaking of lap cars, so another one I wasn't trying to look at immediately, but Bailey Turner, he's lost the pack. Well, he's about to find them yet again as we look off his back bumper. There they are, charging at 20 miles an hour faster than him.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know if he probably lost the draft or something. I think that he got involved in that wreck, but when he did, it kind of hurt his car more than he realized. So he probably was unable to keep up with the draft. It's hard to say, but here they come. They're going to lap him. Here he goes.
And it's going to get a little bit hairy here when they get side by side here out of the corner. Looks like everyone's going to give each other more than enough room to work with. And so here's the interesting thing. So we got a little bit of a race on the lap cars now. Sprout, Cockrell, and Turner are all racing for being the first car a lap down. There's Martin Sprout, lifting Cockrell right there on the inside in the 16. And Bailey Turner is dropping back as he's trying to pick up the draft as mostly everyone else is single file. So we feel a little bit of a race between the lap down cars.
Yeah, I think he's dropping back further and he ain't getting a hole. So it's going to be tough for him to work back up here. But so they're trying to work that outside line still. We got Sprout and Butler, the lappers, working with them. Everybody else on the lead lap's just all single file. Sturgill, I think, is the only one on the lead lap running that high side. So he's doing what he can, but he needs to get to that bottom, I think. But, I mean, if he's got help and get to the front, go for it.
Yeah, honestly, these guys taking it pretty easy here for the most part. They've been very, very clean throughout the first half of this race. That's about to wrap up. Guys approach back onto the front straightaway and come back across the line. We're gonna approach and be halfway through this race.
So far, one caution in 50 laps. That's not bad. So, but what do you think? Over or under? The rest of this race.
As far as cautions?
Yeah. What do you think? Are we going to get more? Or we're going to actually go green all the way?
I think we're going to get more. Again, a lot of this is typically, patience. Patience is definitely a virtue here at Daytona, and these guys have shown quite a lot of it. We only had one wreck, and for the most part, everyone was fairly clean from that. I would have thought these guys would have got a little bit more antsy, but they've been pretty calm as they were at the start of this race. But again, as we get now into the closing stages of this race, again, still quite a bit ways to go. 125 miles to be exact. I think it's going to get a little bit more hairy as the laps start to wind down. Guys are definitely going to start fighting for a position. And the thing is, they haven't really been fighting throughout this entire race. They've just been kind of riding. And I think that when they start to go to charging against one another, that might lead to some chaos.
Yeah, that's where it's going to be. But everybody's running good. Everybody's running clean. And so, therefore, we run green flag laps, which means later in the run, which what did you say pit stops were roughly? About 30-some laps?
Yeah, so these guys are limited to 80% fuel, which to my estimates, just running by yourself, that would yield you about 28 laps. I think with the draft, they should be able to go more like 32, well, maybe even more than that. So we're looking at a little bit over 30 laps. These guys, for instance, have actually run 27, now coming to 28. So they're going to be looking to pit in about 5 to 7 laps time.
Yeah, I was going about to say, we're getting close to that pit window, so start seeing guys really single it out. We still got those lap cars up top, running in their lane with Sturgill up there. And I think Sturgill's going to want to work low here soon, try to find a gap so he can get fit in and get with these guys. So whenever they want to pit, they'll be with them. But everybody's just taking a chill right now, I think, just till the green or the pit stops get done. Now we're looking here. I'm getting comments. Angelo Aronis is going to be pitting in. I think we're going to have green flag pit stops coming in right now.
And we'll see again, he's been running up in the front. He's had next to no draft help this entire run. And there you see a huge amount of cars pull down onto pit road.
Everybody piling on in. Just make sure no speeding going in. Bowers, look at this power move. If he didn't get caught speeding, he powered his way past Horonis, along with Jeff Wright.
Yeah, that's going to be the big concern here. If he does get a speeding penalty, you look back at the pack, what's remaining of them as
he missed the pit stop. Oh, Bowers, come on, man.
That's a big mistake, and we're talking about it, too, under caution for these drivers, as Caleb Weekly's coming to the pits, and for some reason, it's putting him as the leader. Not sure why that is. Michael Sturgill should be the leader. Up in the 90 car, he's got Sproul behind him and Chandler, Steve Turner. We'll see these guys come down to pit road this time by.
Yeah, it's showing Sturgill on my end, so I might have a little messed up on the, there it goes, update, but it looks like everybody else.
Whoa, and Josh Jenkins gonna be sideways into the pits. Somehow doesn't clip. I think that was Bell to his inside.
Wow, dude, that was that was a crazy slide right there, boy.
All right, I'm board here. As Jenkins comes down for a wild ride onto pit road.
He backed off. You can see him backing off pretty good, but
Yeah, Miss Kelly slammed on it. What a drift.
look, oh my goodness, Jesse Pierce nearly clipping him, but barely gets on through.
And you see there that Jenkins rolling out with everyone else, so it looks like he didn't get a penalty. I think he didn't get one.
Everybody rolling out. We got Bell leading that pack, but I'm anxious to see where they're going to be put versus this
some incidents down on pit road. I think the 30 of Miller just got into the back of Brian Chambliss. Take a look back at that. Here are these drivers coming back down on a pit road.
Coming in hot, super hot. Chambliss coming in. Oh, that looked pretty clean to me.
Yeah, here. Oh, Sprout clipped Chambliss. Chambliss going to actually go off the track. That might be a penalty for him. You see Golly trying to avoid there. You see Miller.
Oh, my goodness.
So some chaos down on the pits.
It's more shut on pit road. Heck of it, man.
So in the chaos of that, Steve Turner is going to be still scheduled as your leader. But as you're going to see here in a little bit, there comes the rest back off of turn 2. Whoa, got really tight there with Wright.
Yeah, they merging. Try to get merging on track, and these four up here leading right now are like, get out of the way. We got to go. So they keep it to the pedal, and these guys are walking off with it right now. And then we got the second pack. They're going to get scrunched back up. I know they will, because they're going to get – it's a big pack. They're going to get tighter. They're going to catch up to these four here. But it's going to get racy. It's time to get racy. We're going to have 44, 43 to go at the line. Yeah. So see what's going on here, boys. Let's get to racing.
Yeah, and here's a key thing, too, with the amount of laps they went on that last run there. We're definitely going to have to have these guys come down one more time. So it's not over yet. We still got one pit stop left. And for a lot of drivers, there's another chance to make a mistake. I'm trying to see what happened. Where's Brian Chambliss? Somehow he didn't get a penalty from unsafe exit off of pit road and going through the grass. He's still going to remain in 11th. I'm trying to see if we can take a closer look at the car. You can see the rear dented a little bit, as well as you think he's got some damage to the right front.
I think he's fine. I think he clipped it. I don't know if it triggered it enough. I think he got to be further off to be triggered. But lucky for him, he didn't get penalized for it and is still on track.
Yeah, I guess really, if you are to decide where you'd rather have damage, I guess it's much better being in the rear than in the front. You can see it's pretty smashed in there, and I guess the biggest concern for him is if someone goes up to bump draft him, has a really good chance of getting hooked and turn around.
It's possible, very possible. Now, I forget that these cars had the new damage model, so...
No, they had it turned off.
That myself. Oh.
Yeah, because iRacing broke it. Yeah, because iRacing broke it. That's why they turned it off. It got reverted. Initially, it was supposed to have the new damage model, but there's some problems with it, and iRacing put a hot patch out to disable it. Hopefully, we get it back sooner rather than later. Look at Alex Bell with a head full of steam here. He's trying to figure out where to go. Going to try to look maybe to the outside of Bowers. And it looks like he's going to kind of stall in behind the 31. I'm curious to see if he's going to duck high or low. He's going to duck low very aggressively, but nowhere to go. Being stuck in behind Ronis.
He's looking. He's definitely looking.
And as the field starts to bunch back up together again, a little quicker than I would have anticipated. But Josh, you're definitely right. They did get back up together again in the pack, reformed, ready to go for another while, as Clifton Kaku, who was back on the lead lap for a second, This really bit him in the butt. Him not coming down pit road on that first caution. Because he was just running
off sequence.
Yeah, he was just running with the leaders on the lead lap, but gonna have to come back down on pit road off sequence. Is gonna put him a lap down yet again.
He's trying to go for that caution and put him back in the sequence. That's all he's hoping for right now. But oh man, we're racing up here, boys. It's getting good.
It really started.
I didn't mean to leave you out there. Internet, man, kind of partied stuff. I probably sounded like a robot. I apologize.
Yeah, no, it's been fine. It's been pretty solid for the most part. There's been some few seconds where it's kind of glitched, but for the most part, it's been really solid.
Good.
He rolls down through the trial. Well, how about Caluso? We have not seen him for a very long time in that 20. He was actually back with David Mott Jr. in a pack that was kind of strangled out quite a bit ways from the leaders. For Calusa, I don't think it was a good pit road sequence. He's going to fall a lap down there. You see also Clifton Cockrell on the inside. Luckily, he did not merge. Yeah, luckily he didn't merge. That would have been 4 wide for a second. That could have led to absolute calamity as Connor Horn has found his way up into the lead.
I don't know what it looked like. He was tapped, but then I guess it was his aggressive move, got it moved to the bottom. It looked like he got loose, but I'm just maybe seeing things. But look at him. He's up in the front now, boys.
He will lead the lap. I want to take a look back at what happened. This is him on the top side, and I think just gonna pull on down.
I think it was.
Yeah, just pull on down. It looked almost looked a lot more aggressive than it was, but gonna easily take the lead.
It looked like Bowers was going to get a run on the outside here. We've got Sturgill. I believe it's Sturgill. Yep, Sturgill's back up in this mix, and he's going to be pushing. See if we can get him back up in the front here. But we got, look at this. Look at this. There's my team. There we go. We got Bell Flake and Jesse coming up through the field all tangled up. Let's go.
And my only concern is this just a little bit too early for these drivers to be up here trying to make a move to the front?
Yeah, they're doing something. They ain't holding back much longer. They want to get up front. But I mean, yeah, I agree with you there. It's a little bit too soon. We still got to make another pit stop, but they don't want to lose the front and the back. So they're trying to probably just stay up there. But, oh, my goodness. Look at this. Jacob Plank's going to look to the bottom.
It looks like they're kind of splitting up, I guess, divide and conquer for those drivers. As a Plank on the bottom, Pierce and Bell up top. Again, the JB Racing guys. Meanwhile, it's Dark Smoke up in the front with the 3 of the 31 and the 48 old teammates up in the front of the field. Even Sturgill, I almost want to throw him into that mix, even though he's in a Toyota Camry. He's been working pretty well with Jeff Wright at the very least.
He's just been lingering around here. He's been doing good, keeping his car clean and up front. So as long as they don't get turned by Jeremy Miller, we should be okay.
And actually, speaking of which, we have not seen a whisper out of Miller. In fact, he's actually pretty far back. He should have come out with the leaders, but is all the way back in 16th, running with Skylar Shackelford, Caleb Weekly, and Joshua Jenkins. They're running almost 14 seconds back from the leader, so this is not looking to play out well for these drivers.
Yeah, I'm watching the speeds right now. Going down the straightaway, he's barely pushing with the car pushing behind him. 195, 196. Okay, so he's getting a little speed, but he's not where he should be. That nose is crinkled, so.
Yeah, that's the worst thing, to have the damaged car up in front. And actually, there's another pack of drivers up ahead of our leaders looking off the nose of Connor Horn. You can see a trio of cars that are about to go lap down. Not entirely sure who that is. Oh, I actually do know who that is. It's AJ Stravato, David Mott Jr., and Bailey Turner in the 24. Turner looking at going another lap down, while Stravato and David Mott about to go 1 lap down.
That stinks for AJ. I know he's probably looking forward to this race, but now he's back here in the back about to get a lap, so it's unfortunate for him. I was looking forward to seeing how we would race this out.
Now we'll see. There's still hope. It's not completely over yet. Oh, with Butler and a move. Yeah, he was also one of those drivers off sequence, so he's going to have to come on down.
It looks like, it's 3 wide for a little bit here, boys, as these lappers get lapped.
Stravato really close to that wall.
Yeah, they're pretty dang close.
Arson line at Daytona.
Do what?
And whoa, look
I
at.
got the... Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say, Yusuf Gali, looking at the back of his machine, has got some gnarly damage to it.
Gnarly.
Yeah, I don't know how else to say it. Really, it's got that. I guess I
It's
could say
all
pretty
good.
bad.
Oh yeah, but yeah, everybody's got a little bit of rear end damage from people, so it's gnarly damage for everybody.
Yeah, definitely some pretty. Yeah, as you're saying too, there are quite a few drivers that do have that damage. The front of that 54 though looking pretty solid. He's going to move to the outside and try to get a little bit of a draft from Zach Halpern. But the leaders now starting to single file out. We're left with Jess Bowers and Sturgill up on that top side. Everyone else running the single lane.
Yeah, everybody's starting to single file, probably running this thing out a little more next to the final green flag pit stop. So I'll see how this goes here. But we're going to talk about Tim Downey Jr. and Zach Halpern. They've been in the back, but they've been there. You know, they're not like completely out of it, and they've just been running together and running clean and doing pretty good so far, keeping the car clean.
Yeah, we have seen since that caution, we have pretty much the same front runners we've had this entire run. They've shifted their order around a little bit, but by and large, it's still the same drivers up here near the front.
Just about. Steve Turner's a new name in the 22, showing his presence a little bit. But Sturgill, Bowers, Aronis, Wright, and Connor Horn all up there in the front. And Bell, you know, he's up there now. We talked about how they were forming up a little bit, but they seem to have separated, you know, backed off a little bit. But you got a couple new guys up here, but similar names as well. So you get worried. We'll see who's going to make it up to the front or not.
Indeed, I am curious to see if Bowers is maybe this could be these guys potentially testing the waters too, with everyone single file to see how far they can try to get up to the front. But again, it just looks like they're kind of riding up there. I'm surprised they haven't just dropped back in behind Halpern, or if they're actually trying to make this lane work.
They could be making it work because either that, I wouldn't want to go too far back because then it'd be as much as it is you can get up to the front. These guys are going to make it easy when it gets down to the run. So you want to make sure you stay up there as best you can, as long as you can. And that's, I believe, what these guys are doing right now, just trying to see if they can keep up there as far as they can without going too far back.
Trying to take a look at the rest of your field here, where we got some interesting stuff going on. Here's a pack that's actually increased in size. Clifton Kokolowski's joined up with this kind of 4-car trio that we saw earlier in the run. These guys have, last time we looked at them, they were only 14 seconds back. Now they're half a lap back, 21 seconds behind the leader. And this is pretty big for Miller, who are potentially looking at winning this race, a really strong plate racer. Look back to the front with Connor Horn leading the race, and looks like the outside lane starting to form back up with Bowers on the outside, Sturgill in second on that lane. Casey Lacatus, he's finally returned. We haven't seen much of the 50 car as of late. And then Gagnonbeck rounding out that top lane in the 83 car. And we've seen him be very conservative twice during this race, dropping back to the back of the pack. Josh, are you with me?
I'm trying.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to confirm if I lost you or not with internet. As these guys coming out onto the front straightaway again to complete another lap. I would say now we're fairly much within the range of coming down to pit road. Josh, do you run the tank out, or do you try to come down now while early on in the run? Riding on board with Steve Turner in the 22 machine off into turn 3.
Yeah, I think we're back. I don't know what happened.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, good to have you back. No, so what I was saying is, with these guys, so we've just entered what I would believe is the window where you can pit now, and you can make it to the end of the race. So as one of these drivers or a group of drivers, do you want to now elect to come down pit road, or do you want to run the tank out?
I mean,
I would go ahead and go in because the less time you got to fill up that fuel tank, I mean, less time you got to spend on pit road. So tires aren't really a big thing here. I don't think they are. It is a hot track. It was when we started.
I would say if anything, just slap on some right side tires and call it a day. If anything, I think they are going to have to fill up enough fuel to at least do that.
Right. I believe I saw some guys on that first pit stop take some 2 tires left side. So it's probably going to be done on this next pit stop is right side. So be interesting to watch what the strategy is going to do and who goes off first and what group goes where. So I'll be anxious to see it for sure.
And also just a reminder here as we enter the later stages of the race, if you want to follow at home, you can go to simtvbroadcasting.com/live timing to take a look at the live timing software we have set up. You can follow your favorite drivers throughout the course of this race. As we see Jeff Wright make a move to the outside after staying behind Connor Horn for quite a few laps. He's going to pull with Bowers. You're trying to take the lead away, I imagine.
He's getting a little desperate. He wants to get up front, lead some laps, and I think he's going to be able to do. Bowers getting a good push on that outside along with Sturgill.
Yeah, it looks like that was actually done on purpose. I think Connor Horn would let his teammates slide on in line in front of him. So Dark Smoke 1, 2, 3 on the bottom lane. Sturgill pretty much left out to dry.
Yeah, I think he's going to get the short end of the stick right here, unfortunately. But if he can get a hole, get right tucked in behind Steve Turner here, should be all right. But he's on alone right now. But maybe he can use a little side drive, see if that comes into play and help him get it back up front.
I'm actually curious to see here if we see one of our leaders come down. It looks like they might be setting up to potentially come down onto pit road. We'll have to see here in the next few laps. Again, that window is open. These guys are looking to have to pit within the next 5 to 7 laps. Looks like this time by no takers.
Yeah, I think they're getting ready, though. He's starting a single file. Sturgill's going to finally come back in line. Like I said, I'll be anxious to see what groups go where and who does what when. I'll be excited to see that because that's really going to determine who's going to have the lead. I believe if you come in first, that's going to be the deciding factor. If you come in second, depending on how your stops are, that's really a big factor too. If you come in hot but yet no speeding penalty and come through your box good, may come out on top. It just depends on how the entry and exits work. So, and of course also your pit box as well. So we'll see what happens, man.
Oh, I actually thought they were going to dive off of turn 4 there, but still a little patient. We were talking about these guys getting single file out. Looks like they're not done yet. How about Gagnon leading your charge on the outside lane?
He got Licata's following him here, and look at this run he's got, man. He is charging.
Yeah, 204 for a second off into the corner. That's one of the highest speeds we've seen so far. Ooh, an aggressive side draft as well. He really does want the lead away from these guys. And how about Casey Licata's giving him the push to the front? And actually, Gagnon for a second had a lane clear on the bottom, didn't elect to take it. Ooh, as you see a little bit of a stack up in the middle of the corner. And yeah, but for those who've noticed that Kyle's voice is not in the booth tonight, Kyle's off in Chicago for doing grid life stuff. So I'm gonna be taking the reins of the show tonight. And Josh, glad to have you as always up here in the booth. It's really been a pleasure and really interested in seeing. The race for the most part, we'll say, has been pretty calm and for the most part also pretty lackluster. But I think now as we enter the final 20 laps, I think now is where we're gonna start to turn up the heat.
Yeah, this is where the fun part begins, boys. And strap your belts tight. We're going racing. 20 to go, coming in a couple laps. We got one more green flag pit stop. Hopefully we don't have no cautions. Let's just go super speedway racing. Let's bring it on.
Indeed, bring it on indeed. As these guys still side by side up the front, and even behind them too. It's your boys up on the outside yet again. Here comes Alex Bell, the 38, and of Jacob Plank, and the 40 of Jesse Pierce up on the top. Were they going to dare go 3 wide? Oh man,
I can believe it. Bell will do some crazy stuff like that. They'll go with them. So, oh man, but we're about to go pit stops, man. I don't know what they're doing. I don't even know, man.
Who knows? This could be the winning call here. We'll have to see as these guys getting double filed up and look like they're going to come down for pit stops now. Looks like they're ready to race here.
Yeah, I think so, man. They might. I don't know.
I think you said 28. We went on lap 60, I think is what the pit stops were. So they can make it to 90. But I'd go ahead and pit now, man. Just go ahead and get it done. But then again, if the caution comes out, then they're kind of screwed. So I don't know, man. It's a tough call. Do not put me on the crew chief stand. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I would say for these drivers, I would definitely, potentially wait to come down to the last second because there's a good shot of a caution coming out. I don't think you want to be on the back foot strategy-wise. The problem is, if everyone waits to come down at the last second, everyone's going to be down pit road, and that's going to be a massive mess. And we could see a wreck out of that. So that's kind of the big dilemma for a lot of these guys when everyone else is going to pit.
All right. We can see now, JB. Yeah. Let's see, Bell's all by himself. Plank and Pierce pulled off and went to the back. They're probably thinking about pit stops now, so I'm seeing it in the next couple laps. Anytime now, boys. So watch it out. Now look at this, though. Look who's leading. I didn't realize this. We got two sidetrack Gagnon's in the front now.
Yeah, he actually pulled down off of turn 1 or into the entry of turn 1 ahead of Jeff Wright. So he's now leading the race ahead. And now with that, you see him again. It's dropped back twice on 2 different occasions to the back of the pack early on. And now he's flexing his muscles here in the front, really, arguably where it matters the most.
Sir, got a good push from Butler and Ricardos there to get him up front. But definitely needed that push. And now look at him leading some laps here. But man, come on, boys. We got to do green flag. Let's get this done. I'm nervous.
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting the fact that as quickly as they double fouled up, they got single file yet again. I think now we're really starting to get down to the pit stops, considering how quickly that dissipated. Except for Lakatos and Butler, they didn't get the memo. They're still up there on the top side.
I could probably guess what Lakato's saying. He's like, get me up in the front, Butler. Come on. So, try to get himself up front, maybe get single file, get a good position going into the pits. But let's see what they do here. There they go. Here comes the group. Small group. Looks like, okay, half of them stay out. And Lakatos is going to be the leader. But
whoa! And somehow they don't wreck after getting really sideways. You can see majority of the dark smoke guys coming down on a pit lane as well as Sturgill, and it looks like the 83 Gagnon as well. Ooh, Bowers
the box big
again.
Time. Oh, wow, that's a big miss right there. Holy cow. And somehow he still got service at the angle he was in, but he's going to lose that pack.
Yeah, and this is the second time he made a stop. You would think he would have done it a little bit easier. I thought he pulled into his stall. He went in the stall ahead of him and had it back all the way up.
I think that's the stall. It's going to pitch you, buddy.
As we look off again, more tickers down on the pit road.
Oh, Bell at the little wide going in. Whoa, Bell! Oh, hold it! Somehow, I don't know if that's a pit lane violation, but oh my goodness, was that close?
Yeah, definitely deserves a replay.
He coming in hot. He's trying to keep from hitting Chambliss and Sturgill, but oh man, it's a little too wide right there, man. That's so close.
These guys have been on edge coming into pit road. It's been fascinating to watch.
They'd rather be on edge on pit road than on the track, and I completely understand. It's 55. It's not a 200 mile an hour. Completely different. So
here's Casey Lakatos and Elliot Butler. Lakatos finally going to dip out of lead, come down by himself.
Yeah,
trying to see where the current drivers are coming off of pit lane and being led by, it seems, Michael Sturgill. And there you see, wow, massive lead that these guys are going to get. How about this?
Yeah, with 17 to go with the 3-car pack. Bowers, you can see where he's at. He's way back there. But however, if these boys back here who are way back here, see, this is what I'm saying. I think you should have gone in first because of you see the gap that has been done. However, these boys you see go by right now can straighten her up, get in line, and get on with it. They can possibly catch Bauer and then get to the lead. They got plenty of time.
Yeah, we'll take a look here as we go off into turn 1. There are the leaders rocketing on by the past the camera. There's Bowers in the middle of the field. And you see these guys double filing up as they're racing out for the rest of the spots. They need to pretty much get single file out to try to catch these guys because they got a 4-second gap to make up, which is definitely doable, but you need to get single filed out.
Yeah, definitely. And they got Lakatos coming too, so he's going to be another car they can add in the pack if he can stay with the draft. I mean, you can see the top three really sticking together, though. And you can see use of Golly coming into pits, though.
Yeah, schedule currently as our leader. That's definitely going to change as the field comes out of turn 4. Here are your leaders: Connor Horn, Jeff Wright, Angel Ronis in their own little 3-car pack by themselves. Bowers all by his lonesome here in no man's land. We'll cycle out in a 4th. And then here's the rest of the pack, the guys chasing them down. And we'll take a ride on board with Jacob Plank. You can see the gap he's got to make up.
It's going to be tough, man. That's a tough kill climb, but I can see it happening. Just pick up Bowers, and y'all can get up there. Just stay in line and get on with it. It looks like from the ticker, from what I'm seeing, they are slowly reeling them in, maybe. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to keep the lap times here on the screen. Here's Connor Horn. Their lap times pretty similar last time through. Now they've kind of gotten more or less hooked up with one another in that second pack. Come across the line for Connor Horn, 45.1. For Brandon Bowers, he's getting passed by that second group. For Plank, a 44.9. So they definitely are making time now.
Yep. See, now they're picking up Bowers, and they're going to start making some lap times here. Just y'all get chill now. Figure it out. Get in line. Get up there and race. All right, Blake, you take a chill too. We got to go, man. Oh, man, I don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood.
Yeah, you can see right behind him, Jesse Pierce in the 40 machine, trying to give a bit of a push to his teammate. The 38 of Plank is there now, again, trying to set their sights on our leaders up ahead. Now, if you're these guys, ooh, is that Alex Bell I see?
I think he got hit with that.
Oh, yeah, he spent 49 seconds in his pit stall alone.
Yeah, I think he got hit with a penalty on that one. I thought he missed it, but apparently he got hit, and that really sucked. Plank and Jesse really needed him there, and that's unfortunate for him, man. I know he wanted to do good at this race.
It looks like he's going to potentially be able to pull back in behind Ronis and potentially try to catch this pack. They might have passed him too fast, so I don't know if he'll be able to quite stay up to pace. But yeah, this is really unfortunate, and again, just got bought for, I'm not sure if it was speeding or speeding plus, I'm trying to think of the terminology for it, an illegal entry on pit road.
Entry?
Yeah, unsafe pit entry. That's what I was looking for.
So, I would be, if I was Bell at this moment, put aside the fact that you messed up, it happened. Go back there and help your boys out there and get back there and get them up to the front. I mean, they still 5 seconds. Hey, come on, boys. Almost 6 if I ain't reading this right.
Yeah, they're actually starting to drop back more, and I'm not entirely sure why. So
I thought they would have done better, but
yeah, they started to do better. I think they're just a little bit too disconnected in comparison to our leaders, and these guys are absolutely loving it because right now it's looking to just be a 3-horse race up at the front amongst themselves.
Yeah, from the looks of it so far. So unless something crazy happens with the bigger pack, but we'll just see. I mean, they need to get single file and 12 to go. They need to get on with it.
Yeah, I can imagine the top 3, they're not going to do anything until the white flag. They want to keep this all to themselves. Worst case scenario, you got a top 3 finish. These guys, as you see, Plank, he's going to pull out. Maybe, I guess, felt Gagnon might be faster. Maybe something's wrong with the 38. They're going to switch, see maybe if this will help them try to catch the leaders.
Idea here, they're thinking, we'll just race for this 4th position. It's hard to say, but something happened with the pit stops to get them that far back. I mean, the guys in the top 3 really hit their marks right.
Yeah, actually, now that you say, I'm looking at their pit lane deltas, and so for Connor Horn and I'll throw the rest of them there. Connor Horn, Jeff Wright, and Ronis. Their pit lane times, I'll actually pull it up on screen here for everyone to see at home. Look at their pit road times, 27.5, 28.2, and then a 29.1 for Ronis. Look at the pit lane times for the guys in behind them. 35, 32, 34, 35.
Yeah, so a lot of either missed pit stops or sliding tires or something. Either that or really not going into pit lane.
Actually, no, what I see, the common thread between all these guys, they took full service. They spent 14 seconds down on pit lane. The rest of the guys only took gas.
So it's possible that they took a 4-tire stop versus a 2-tire stop.
Yeah.
I believe that's what it might be what it comes down to, because I'm now noticing that. Oh, we got a big path. What's going on?
I have no clue. Well, we got a massive group of guys ahead of Connor Horn. He's going to have to bob and weave his way through this. This is not what they wanted. They want to clear an empty racetrack, but they somehow managed to find the next gaggle of cars in the field.
Oh, boy. This is going to get interesting. Oh, now he's going to go down. He's going to come up. All right. Y'all, Connor was like, let me go. Y'all be good. Let me go, please.
And this is not, again, this is not good for them. This is going to slow them down. They're going to get some turbulent air. It's going to slow everyone down in this pack. Here are the guys in behind. They're dropped back to 7 seconds. Now's the time to try to go.
Now, look at this, though. They're all lined up. They just need to get going. I mean, it's just, you would think that this many cars with this much energy would be able to go. But it just, something's just not working right. They're not able to hold that yellow line straight. They're all bobbing and weaving a little bit more than the top three is, but that's probably what's holding them back.
Yeah, looking at the lap times, 44.7 for Gagnon. They've kind of equalized it with Connor Horn as they've been working their way through the pack. This time, I imagine, is going to be a lot slower for them, but the lap times kind of even out for a bit. But again, they're going to have to really start making some inroads as the leaders get clear of the lap traffic, and now it's amongst themselves yet again.
I think that pack in the back is going to help these top three really push out too. So just keep an eye on that as we go along. Now we're working on 7 to go, I believe.
Yep.
7 laps to go. So we'll see what happens. They may now with these lap cars here. I wonder if these Jeff Wright and Horonis might be thinking, all right, who's going to stick with me if I make a move? You know, are they going to work with me or something? You know. Because they got nothing to lose. The lap cars, they may just do it for the heck of it and help somebody, or they may not help somebody. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, that's the thing, too, is, you know, as the competitors, you don't want the lap cars to interfere, but you never know that if they like you enough, I guess, they might try to help you get the win, and that could definitely be the deciding factor here, because these guys are too close to not really be affecting them that much, so we'll have to see if they decide to stay out and just kind of run this in behind the leaders, or if they are going to play favorites here, maybe to, you know, a driver like Ronis. I would say he's pretty well liked in the 11 machine, maybe to get his, I believe, his first win. I don't think it's first win of his career here at Outsiders, but
it doesn't be of the season. Definitely would be first win of the season, I believe.
Yeah, I don't have a win for him in the last two this season and last season, so it's definitely been a long time.
He has one. That's what you're saying.
I don't have that data. The first season, I don't have data for it, unfortunately.
Okay.
So it's definitely been at least almost a year, probably, I would say, till he would have potentially gotten a last win if he had one at all. But he's sitting in third, has a great shot of getting it done here with 5 laps to go here at Daytona.
Now, look at this. Look at the intervals now. It's a little blurry on my end, but I'm seeing 5 seconds. Is that 5 or still 6?
Nope, it's 5.4 seconds the gap between Gagnon and our leader, so they started to close it in, but I have a feeling at this point it might be too little too late.
I don't know, man. They were 7 seconds a little bit ago, a couple laps ago. Now they cut it to 5, so they're coming. They need to get going, though. I mean, I wonder, this is weird. How can lap cars slow these guys down? It just doesn't make sense. I don't know, but it's somehow working, and here they come. They're 5 seconds now, under 4, under 5.
I'm not a aerodynamic engineer. I'm sure someone with a degree in that could definitely tell us why that's the case. I have no clue, but I can definitely tell you looking at the lap times here. Connor Horn 45.4. Meanwhile, Gagnon in behind, they're hauling 44.7 for them.
Yeah, that's rolling, man. That's a 7/10 difference. I mean, 4 laps to go. Oof. Oh, my goodness. Come on, boys. Let's go make it a race. I know the top 3 will, too, but I want to see, like, a lot of cars going on that, and this will be cool if they can catch up.
Indeed, as the leaders, I don't know really what more these guys can do. Whoa! Tim Downey Jr. all out of shape in behind.
Yep, that's going to lose a little energy on this front pack.
Oh, and
What happened to him?
Uh-oh.
Oh, Tim, stay put. Okay, you're good.
Yeah, something major happened to his car. He's really slowing off the pace.
That was weird. I don't know if he got tapped. Jeremy, what are you doing, boy?
Oh, they kind of both went into each other.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, hard hit.
Imagine if that was the yellow. Oh, my goodness. We would have been. Oh, man, my dreams would have come true. Oh, Jeremy.
Yeah, unfortunately for Tim Downey Jr., kept it straight on the track. Meanwhile, look back at our leaders again. As they come across the line, 3 laps to go. Actually, now coming down to 2 laps to go as they come back across the start-finish line.
Yeah, them boys in the back, just 3 seconds now, under 4, but just they're right there. They're right there, man. Right there.
And the leader's hoping they can make it back one more circuit. That'll make this race definitely going to finish. We get a caution now. They're going to line up for a green-white checkered, and they're just hoping, keeping their fingers crossed, the guys in behind keep it clean. I think these guys are about to start to go unhinged because I think at this point they realize they're not going to be able to catch up.
Yeah, I think they're going to go. They're going to try to go for every position they can get. Definitely well on the final lap. But man, they are rolling though, man. Down to 3.5 seconds. Just they needed that push so much sooner. Sooner. But here we go. Final lap, boys, coming around.
There we go. White flag in the air this time by for Connor Horn, Jeffrey, Angelo Ronis, your top 3 as we get ready to finish this race. There we go. Angelo Ronis to the top side. He's got Skylar Shackelford up and behind him, trying to give him a bit of a run. Connor Horn going to go up to block. The dark smoke guys working together.
Here we go. Oh, my goodness. All right. Ronis is going to give the push to Connor now going down the back straightaway. But these boys racing is going to let those guys in the back maybe catch, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah.
We got Jeff Wright being pushed by Jeremy Miller going down the back straightaway. Oh, man. Ronis is going to, I thought, clear Connor there, but that's going to lose momentum because he's going to have to check up. He's going to look to the high side now of Connor Horn. Oh, my goodness. Connor's going to cut down.
Ronis hard into the wall off for turn 4. Here comes Jeff Wright trying to make a move on his teammate. They swerve down the front straightaway, but at the line, it's going to be Connor Horn that wins at Daytona.
Man.
Jeff Wright in second. Ronis going to bring his battered car on to third. And the gap in behind, they wrecked at the line.
They all wrecking back there. We got to watch that one again for the 4th spot. Oh, what a race.
Yeah, Zach Halpern a car spun in 6th place. Great finish for him. But for Connor Horn, a win at Daytona.
Oh, my goodness. What a race. Good job to Connor. Like we said, he was patient, clean, and kept it out of the wrecks, or a wreck, and, good strategies and got him to win.
Absolutely. And for Connor Horn, this is his 6th win of the season.
Man, he's on fire with these wins, man. Just keeps on plugging along.
Everyone giving the congratulatory bumps of what's left of the race cars as they came battered and bruised across the line, but for Connor Horn getting ready to burn it out.
Do a slide across the crack. Dale Earnhardt style through the grass. Now on the pit lane. Oh, man.
Classic burnout through the grass for Connor Horn, soaking up this victory. An excellent job. Did just a fantastic job defending, too, down the back straight. We'll take a look again before we wrap things up. Alright, and with that, I'll pull across for your results here for a brief look at them. We got Connor Horn again winning the race. Jeff Wright so close to mine, 37 thousandths of a second, was close to getting Connor Horn at the line. Angelo Rowan is going to see what got him checked up hard into the wall off at turn 4.
And then after him, I got Brandon Gagnon running out to 4th. And then Brandon Bowers in the top 5 rounding out them. Got it down to under 3 seconds, but it just wasn't enough for those guys in that last pack. We got Zach Halpern finishing out in 6th. Jesse Pierce 7th. So on.
Yeah, taking a look at the rest of the results there on the second page. And with that, don't go anywhere. We'll gather up some drivers to interview as well as take a look at the race finish. We'll take a look at a few replays before we go off the air, but meanwhile, we'll get some drivers to interview. We'll be right back. we're back here live with third place finisher Angelo Ronas. Angelo, you had a great run there, especially at the end of the race. You were separated from the rest of the pack, just yourself, Jeff, and Connor Horn. Unfortunately, I don't think it went quite the way you would have imagined being in that third spot, but just walk us through that last lap.
Yeah, well, first I gotta thank Connor, Jeff, Brandon Bowers, and AJ throughout the entire race. We definitely had something going, and I know AJ was in the first caution, but yeah, last lap it was definitely fun. I was trying to make a move coming out of turn 4, but then I did see the replay and being the 48 netcode a bit. But yeah, overall I can't really complain with this race.
Yeah, we saw, do you think, we saw the change, a bit controversial, I think, amongst your drivers, the change from the setup you guys were going to run in the previous session to just the Daytona fixed setup. Do you think that ended up helping the racing tonight, or do you think it ended up hurting it?
I think it helped some drivers and it hurt some drivers. I think just the set itself, whenever I was driving both, this one we ran tonight definitely felt more stable than what we were supposed to. But I think we may have had more cautions with the previous one than this one. So stability wise, I think this one was the best choice.
Yeah, indeed. Had some great action on the track, Angelo. Great third place finish for you, and we'll see you next week at Mosport.
All right, thank you.
Moving on now to our second place finisher. It'll be Jeff Roy in the 48 machine. Jeff, I think the season for the most part definitely could have gone better in a lot of places, but this is a nice solid second place finish for you in that 48 machine. Just kind of walk us through how your night went.
Yeah, so he drew a good qualifying position, started there in the 4th position, had Jeremy Miller there in front of us, and able to clear 1st and 3rd pretty quick, so able to get down to the bottom and, kind of just took it easy for that first 20 laps or so, and then got a bit of a run, decided to jump out, try to lead a few laps, which I thought we did a good job. We were pretty much up front the entire night. Felt like we led a handful of laps, and if we weren't leading, we were running, 2nd or 3rd. But overall, great night, and like you said, hasn't been the best season for us. So definitely a great points night for us. I think we came into tonight 8th in points. So either we might jump a spot or we're going to stay put, but definitely gap some guys behind us for sure.
Yeah, and we saw you were playing fairly well along with your buddies up in the front. Also, just quickly wanted to ask, were you also planning on working with the 90 Sergio? Because these guys seem to have found each other more often than not.
Yeah, so when I think that first caution came out, looked like it was just a push in the wrong spot, got one of the cars loose, and kind of knocked me off the track, and then had to go back and I think repaired like 40 seconds of damage or so. No RPM damage, so had full power thankfully. We restarted like 12th or so, and then I think yeah we found Sturgill there, and we ran pretty well together. It was not really designed. We didn't really talk about it or anything. Just kind of found each other there. I knew he was fast. I knew he was, good at pushing, good at holding his line, and was somebody I felt comfortable pushing pretty aggressively. And with the setup that we had tonight, that kind of allowed for a little bit more aggressive racing, being able to push a little bit harder, push through the corners. So I think that kind of played into our favor that we could be a little bit more aggressive. But he had a great race. Really, the whole team for us, Connor, AJ, and then we had Angela working with us, Brandon, all did a really good job getting on to pit road, getting off, and would have loved to win that race. I was thinking Angela was going to maybe, hold off on a move till the backstretch, but right as we took the white, he jumped out there and kind of caught me off guard. So I thought we might have had Connor there, but I know everybody's going for the win in that situation. But nonetheless, great second place finish for us, and congrats to Connor. He's been on it all season long. Gonna definitely be tough to beat there in the championship.
Yeah, indeed. Thanks for talking with us, Justin. We'll see you next week at Mosport.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Last but certainly not least, our race winner for tonight, Connor. You did a fantastic job yet again, especially on that last lap. Just kind of walk us through how the white flag went for you, because you did a heck of a job defending the guys in behind you.
Yes, sir. That was great. I never win these freaking races on these big tracks. It always goes terribly. But I got a good deal with the 31. All of us were up there. Bowers and yeah, pretty much everyone. Bowers, Angelo, Jeff, we were all up there. Unfortunately, AJ got caught up in the mess on lap 20 or whatever it was. But majority of it, we pretty much controlled the race for the second half of this race. We got in front by 2 seconds on the second to last round of green flag stops. And we had a feeling if we played the strategy right on the last round of green flag stops, we could get a big gap. So we took the minimum amount of fuel we could, and we took only left sides to eliminate as much time there. Came out like 5 seconds ahead of the pack, and from how it sounded on the radio, that second pack was having a lot of trouble getting going, and we ended up getting a couple of lap cars on our pack, which really pretty much sealed the deal, in my opinion, for one of us three to win the race. Pretty much eliminated the pack into us. Unfortunately, Bowers didn't stay with us on the last round of stops, but it is what it is. He still ran a great race. He deserved to be up there. Then on the last lap, I knew the lap cars that were still with us after they wrecked, they all went to the top, so I knew Jeff wasn't going to get help. And the 30 didn't get to him in time out of 2 for him to get under me. And then he really didn't have the run on the bottom, so I knew I only had to go to the bottom at the very last second, and he wouldn't have a shot at me. And then Angelo and Jeff neck coated, and then I had the block, and luckily he just didn't have enough help to get by me, and we brought the 98 Dale scheme home.
Yeah, I was going to say, fantastic paint scheme. Also very fitting to just win here at Daytona. Connor, that was a fantastic drive from you here tonight. Expect almost nothing less. Your 6th win of the season. I guess last question for you would be, what are your plans really going into the playoff? Any changes for you, or just going to keep on winning these races?
Yeah, maybe no Austin Dillon schemes. I think that's the best option I can do right now. Seems like I'm running good with the Dale schemes, so I'll stay with that. But a big shout out to all my teammates. AJ Stravato, Angelo Horonis did a great job. He was with us tonight. Jeff J. Wright, the emphasis on the J as well. Brandon Bowers as well. We all brought it home. Shout out to all of them. They played a big deal.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Connor, for talking to us, and we'll see you next week at Mosport.
See you, man.
All right. So that's going to wrap out interviews, but we're not going to end the show just yet. In fact, we're just gonna quickly. I'm gonna throw on the replay graphic. I am sorry also for any of those that are still watching the broadcast for deafening you guys earlier in the show. I heard that I saw people were saying that the graphic was really loud. I didn't realize that Kyle added audio to it until it was blasting in the guy's ear. So I do apologize for that. I was able to adjust it to hopefully a much more acceptable level. But as I got these guys rolling here on the white flag lap, we'll cut back to the replay here to see this unfold. We'll look at the battle for the lead here, just with Ronis up top trying to get a run on Connor Horn. Fortunately, it wasn't quite enough. Connor did a great job defending both these guys. You see them absolutely rocking around Jeff Wright in the 48 as he gets some help from Jeremy Miller in behind. Starts to build up some steam down the back straightaway, but again, not enough. And then we see down into turn 3. This is where that contact happened, the net code between the 48 and 11. Gonna see right there. 11 comes down in big net code for him, sending Aronis up into the wall, and then these guys drag racing down the front straightaway. A little bit of a tap, but Horn able to keep him out wide enough for Connor Horn to take away the win. And also, I guess we got to take a look back at what on earth happened to this pack in behind. It was just pretty much more or less a straightforward finish for them. They wrecked after the line. With Brandon Gagnon with a surprise 4th place finish from him. Jesse Pierce, Jacob Plank, 7th and 8th. A good solid finish for them. Halpern also as well, even though that car wrecked. A great run for him tonight. Definitely gonna hopefully shift the season back a little bit more in the right direction. I know he struggled for quite a bit. On that note, I think we're gonna actually, before we do that, we'll go back live. Got a nice look down at Daytona. Again, the results scrolling back across the top of your screen. But I think that's going to wrap up coverage here of the Outsider Racing League here at Daytona. My name is Finity Kuna. Unfortunately, Joshua Banks is not here with me. Had to attend to something right after the race. But special thanks to him, too, for being able to join me on a fairly late notice up in the booth with the Cal being out. Should return to your normal commentator or tomorrow night with not tomorrow night, tomorrow day afternoon at about 3:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Weekend Warriors at Interlagos. My name is Finny Nakuna. This is SimTV, and I'm going to be signing out for tonight.